How y'all doing? Again, I just want to thank y'all for coming out today and supporting us. It means a lot. Especially to be voted one of the team captains, especially standing beside Seth. It means a great deal to me and how grateful and honored I am. As I was thinking about giving this speech, I thought a lot about my recruitment process, thought a lot about what I've learned here at MCC. I see Coach Brewer, which is awesome. He was one of the ones that helped me along the way. I'm kind of older. Due to the fact, after high school, I ended up serving a church mission for 2 years. Absolutely loved it, getting to serve out there. At the same time, Coach Sud and the coaching staff reached out to me almost every month to remind me where home was at the end, that I still had a place here to play afterwards. For that, I'm truly grateful for it. They were actually the only school that would hold my scholarship. And how grateful I am to be a part of this program, that he opened that door for me, and for that I'm always grateful. As I was thinking what I've learned, I learned a big lesson all the way back. It was last fall. We were playing a game, one of our first games during the fall season, and I was at first, and my teammate hits an awesome hit to right field, perfectly placed, so my job is to go first to third. And because no one else is up here, I'm like one of the fastest players on the team, obviously. And so I'm running, I'm going first to third, easy, in his face, I'm going, and all of a sudden I fall like right by second base. And without that embarrassment, I end up getting tagged out at second. So as I'm jogging back to the dugout, Coach doesn't say anything, so I'm thinking Coach Sud maybe sneezed and didn't pay attention or something. But at the end of the game, I remember getting pointed out, and he talks and he says, I don't care if it's wet, I don't care if it's snowing, I don't care what it is, but you have to keep your freaking feet, Studi. That ended up being my nickname for the whole year. And as I was looking back at it, I was thinking that brought into my life more than just a baseball lesson. I was thinking about keeping my feet just through all of life, through any injuries, anything that we might struggle with, losing a loved one, being sick. We always have to find a way to keep our feet. And in this program, for baseball, we call keeping our feet, get to the next pitch, get to the next pitch. And that means, let's say we're struggling in the batter's box. We take a bad swing, we make an error. We'll always get to the next pitch. Another part of that mindset is playing for the brother beside you. And that's my last point I want to bring up is MCC is a family. It's a brotherhood. From coaches in the past to players in the past to our team now, we're a family. We joke around with each other, we have fun, but every day we go to the field and we work our butts off as hard as we can for that brother next to us, for those that came before us, so that we can represent Meridian the way it should, to represent all of y'all here today and everyone that couldn't make it here. And that's what MCC means to me. It means to show up every day for that brother beside you, to show up for who's on your chest, Meridian, to work as hard as we can to become better men, become better students, become better baseball players, eventually better people to help others along the way. So I just want to thank y'all again, and yeah.
So I just want to reiterate how thankful we are to have y'all here tonight, and it just means a lot to me that this many people would show up for our team to support us. And when Coach Sud asked us to make a speech, I had a million things that went through my mind that day, and throughout the past 2 weeks, I've just continued to think about it, and I didn't write anything down. I didn't write some perfect speech, and Miss Johnson here would probably not be happy with that. I just made my notes because I wanted it all to come from the heart. And that brings me to my recruitment. So when I was recruited, Coach Sud saw me at Hartfield, had a good outing, and that next night, I want to say Coach Parks reached out and texted me, and we continued the recruitment process. And then it was during COVID, so couldn't come on any visits, and I was watching Breaking Bad on Netflix one night, and he randomly calls me at 10:30 and offers me. I mean, how crazy is that? It was so cool. And then I go on my visit, I meet Coach Sud, and I knew that was home. And I didn't know much about the program. I just knew that this is where I needed to be. I prayed about it, and I knew that this is where I needed to be. And it wasn't until I posted my commitment. Every kid dreams about posting his commitment. And it wasn't until my commitment that I learned so much about this program. People commenting on my mom's Facebook, best program ever, best program. And that brings me to my next point. I wanted to talk about the history of our program. We have legendary coaches like Coach Scott Berry, Corky Palmer, Coach Sudd, Coach Curry. So many legends have come through our program, and it's just a winning program. Got tweeted out the other day, we're the #1 junior college, and it was brought to my attention by Coach Parks that number is not correct. He said, I'm not on that list. I'm not on there. He said, that's not correct. I got drafted out of Mississippi State. So there's even more to brag about. So I'm glad he reminded me of that. And just to reiterate what Studi said, it's a brotherhood. I work at Performance Therapy in Brennan, and we just hired a new guy as our new therapist, and his name's Casey Hinton, and he played under Coach Curry. And it was just an immediate bond. He played at Meridian, ended up playing at Delta State. And every person I meet that played at Meridian, it's an immediate connection. Everybody knows each other. You're immediately bonded. You have so many stories to talk about, so many countless memories that you can talk about. And you play for your brothers, and you play for your team. And it's more than just baseball. It's your family. You live with these guys. Elliott Hall, you're right next to these people. And that's something that you can't take for granted, because when you get to the next level, it's not like that. And I'm so thankful that I've been able to come here. Thank you, Coach Sudd and Coach Parks, for taking a chance on the slightly overweight kid from Brandon. Slightly, just slightly. But thank you all for coming out tonight, and it means a lot.